Hello everyone, welcome to the Givers Gain podcast, and I'm your host Pri, welcoming Greg Savory, who has been in BNI for almost 6 years now. Yes, 6 years, and he has passed over 122,000 pounds in business with 351 referrals. So let's have a chat with him. So hi Greg, how are you today?
I'm very well, Pri, thank you.
Yeah. So could you please share a little bit about your journey, about what you do, and how did you end up in BNI?
Okay, so I'm a mortgage broker. So I'm a director of Give Mortgages, who we're a Midlands-based mortgage brokerage. My background was I've been in mortgages for probably 22 years now. 15, 16 of that was directly through a corporate mortgage brokers, and one of the biggest sort of estate agency brands that we won't mention. Not to say they were bad, they were actually really good, and I enjoyed working there. That's why I was there 16 years, right? And we then left there and we set up Give Mortgages. So me and a colleague from our previous company, we set up a mortgage brokerage, and we've been running for 6 years now. So there is 5 staff currently. Probably where we want to be at the moment with the numbers we're doing, and yeah, it's busy. It's a great career. It's a good environment to work in. Lots of different people to meet, so really enjoy it.
Okay, but how did you end up in BNI?
So the BNI introduction was through a close friend of mine who was in BNI already. So the story, a guy called Ben Clay, who's a really good friend of mine. So we met many years ago. He's about 8 years old on the golf course in Nuneaton, and we became friends. We worked in a few areas. So when I went self-employed, Ben already had his own wealth management firm. So he invited me to go and to George Eliot BNI at the time. There's about 35 members at the time, and they had a mortgage broker, but he'd heard a rumbling that the mortgage broker was going to go. So I went to the first meeting as a visitor or guest actually, because I wasn't allowed to talk. And a couple of weeks later he left, so I went again. There was 3 mortgage brokers there, all vying for the same seat. So you get a bit of FOMO, you know, and that was it. So I committed to it at the time, and I've been in for 6 years now. So
6 years, wow, okay.
That's how I joined.
Okay, was there a aha movement for you? Like you've realized that, oh, BNI actually works?
Not that I can recall. I think I'd got a few questions about mortgages and what I did early on. It was, so there wasn't really an aha moment. There was a moment where I thought 35 people in this room are possibly going to need me for their services, and therefore how I conducted myself during those meetings was important, and how I portrayed what we do as a company. But not necessarily a aha moment until, and I was always like that anyway in life, you know, as brutal as it sounds, you know, I'd sit there with a customer, and that customer was the actual, the reason why we're at the meeting. You know, they were the most important part. So all of a sudden I've got 35 other people in a room, knowing that there's going to be an opportunity to do business with those 35 people and their families over the next 5, 6, 10 years. And that was probably as close as I would get to an aha moment, I would say.
And has it been worked out for you, like the BNI, because you've been here for 6 years? So
yeah, so it's worked out for me from a financial perspective. Obviously the numbers are on the BNI app, right? So I can go back and have a look at of what I've done out of the chapter, and you know, it's for me, it's expected. The numbers that we get out of the group of people, the time that I put in to go, so you know, the time in the morning, the time during the week, the one-to-ones, you know, it's not, we don't do, you know, again, brutally speaking, we don't do that for nothing, do we? So we're trying to grow our businesses. So yeah, from a financial perspective, it's worked really well, and from a personal development perspective, it's worked as well, because it's enabled me to continue what I used to do at the previous job. When you're in the corporate world, because you have to speak anyway. Self-employed's a very lonely place, isn't it? Right? So it's helped me both, probably mentally and financially. That it has.
What's something that you've achieved in BNI that you're really proud of, or maybe something in general in your life?
From BNI.
From BNI or general in life?
Generally in life. Generally in life is probably. Apart from the things like being married 25 years and having kids and kids that have moved down and bought houses and driving lessons and passing and jobs and all that. Apart from that, from a personal perspective, it was going into this job in the first place. When you become successful at it within a corporate environment, that is a massively proud moment because it's so competitive in there. And I always used to say to my boss at the time, he said, "What do you want to achieve?" And I'd just say, "Well, I've already achieved it." So there was nothing more for me to achieve because I thought I'd reached I'd got this job and I was good at it and I was enjoying it. It was brilliant. And I wasn't educated to degree level or anything like that. None of that at all. I was out of school at 16. Which wasn't a bad thing, the university of life, I guess, it was great. But I'm proud of Give Mortgages, the company that we've set up, and my business partner. So me and him are very similar. We've not said a cross word to each other in 6 years. We work hard together, back each other 100%. And probably the proudest thing is the fact that I'm now totally in control of me. Don't have to answer to anybody anymore. Don't have to answer to a boss. Don't have to say to him, just phone me up on a Friday and say, "How's your week gone? What have you done for me this week?" So I shut the door on a Friday at the office and I'm down the golf course, right? 12 o'clock on a Friday. Do not work Saturdays, right? So I work Monday to midday Friday. I do work outside of that. So I think the most proud thing for me is to start a business, grow it, retain the people, and give me freedom and time, and buy my time back, which I think it's done.
Could you please share us a story about a great referral or connection that you've made in BNI that has actually made a difference in your business or in generally in your life?
From BNI?
Yes. Or just networking, because I'm sure you go to...
I really only... do you know what? I network at BNI, and you network in life, I think. So I've been a member of Nuneaton Golf Club for best part of 38 years. So the networking I do there is huge. So from a connection perspective, it's the friends that you build along the way. So generally through networking, and I've made some great friends in BNI that are I would class as lifelong friends now. But so it's really difficult to pinpoint a specific connection that that's not a personal connection, because we just have to conduct ourselves in a way that somebody says, he's all right. I would do business for that guy. Yeah. Just by being myself, we get that. So it's about, there's not really a connection to be fair that I can make.
So outside of work and BNI and networking in business, is there anything that you love doing?
Golfing's huge. Golfing is a huge part of my life, sadly.
Okay.
Right? But I've played for a long time when I was a child, and it probably kept me out of, if I was doing it nowadays, probably keep a man bag off my back, wouldn't it? And going on an e-scooter around town, right? With a mask on. So golfing was huge in my life, and I met loads of brilliant people through that. And when I started, it was solicitors, bankers, accountants, business owners. I was 16, 15, within those circles. And then, 38 years later, and we're the business owners, and we're the people that are running the club and being the directors and things like that. So that's massive, and I enjoy that. you know, I followed Coventry City. I've followed them all my life, so I've got a season ticket there. So, you know, once every couple of weeks we go there, and we've got in some great, you know, great places at Coventry. Met some great people there, and done boardrooms and boxes, and tried to get in these places. So I love that. Holidays, love holidaying with a family, love adventuring, going anywhere, you know, it's great. Food, it's about, you know, and that's, you know, I love going to try different places to eat. You know, we have a little group of friends that we go eating probably once a month, somewhere new, but it's fun. Yeah, so that's it. Golf, football, eating, family, holidays, standard things.
What is that one most important goal that you're working on right now?
Oh, definitely retirement. Definitely closing. Definitely finishing. Definitely making my life easier. Okay. So I am working towards the goal of probably more passively earning income. So still doing what I'm doing and working and doing what I'm doing, but with recruiting again, a friend of mine to do a massive part of our business. It's given me so much time back, and so I'm like, you know, nearly 50. I'll be 50 in 2 years, and I'm desperate to go at 60. I've seen too many people burning out in this industry, taking it on consistently. So we're trying to bring people. So the goal we're working towards is trying to bring good people in that can continue this journey that this sort of mortgage machine is on, let's say. That's what we're trying. That's my goal at the moment.
Okay. Is there any leadership skill or networking skill that you've learned through BNI?
Leadership skills, probably tolerance, I would say, is the best one. So to be tolerant with people and pragmatic, you know, those sort of things. So I've done leadership roles quite a few times at BNI. So a couple of times I've been the president, vice president, done secretary treasurer when the secretary treasurer's not there, you know, visitor host. So I've done probably more roles than somebody would normally do in BNI. And in those 6 years, I've been at the top table 3 times, 3.5 years, probably out of 6, which, you know, that's what it teaches you. So tolerance, being pragmatic, understanding people have got other things going on apart from that. Yeah, that's what I would say.
What advice would you like to give to a person who is a new BNI member or a person who's just thinking to join BNI?
What advice would I give them? I would. It's certainly not easy, right? So don't expect a free run at it. You know, you've got 30, 40, 20 people in the room, right? So not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to want to do business with you. Your businesses are not going to connect every time, are they? But if I was a new member now going back in, and I've just seen it with one of our new members, but I would be like a dog with a bone with one-to-ones. So I'd want to meet every single person in my chapter as quickly as I could, maybe within the first year. Mm-hmm. The real basics you've got to follow. So the basics are turn up every week, right? So be visible, have a consistent message that you're trying to put across. So, you know, you don't want to be saying one week, oh, we do mortgages, next week we do limited company buy-to-lets, and the next week we do buy-to-lets, then we do some insurance, and, you know, we want to be consistent with our message, you know. And I would say that to anybody is try and find a real consistent 60 seconds. I would also say try and get your 10-minute, you have a 10-minute presentation, as we know. Get that done as early as you can. Try and ask, when am I doing mine? You got to do your MSP training first, but I would say to somebody, get that done and make it good, make it memorable. Use somebody in the chapter, because as a new business, right, when I went in, I couldn't open a PowerPoint, right? It was always done for me at my old place, couldn't open a PowerPoint. And I can open it now, right? I can probably write on it, but I use people in the chapter and I go, right, do that for me, get that presentation set up. So when I'm presenting, it's just me, I'm just presenting this, but it looks really good, that my presentation. So I'd say the 10-minute presentation is important. And I wouldn't, do you know what? I wouldn't go into too many clicks. I know you can get clicks and power teams in there. I'd try and ensure that you were friendly with every member, you knew every member's first name, and, write down the kids' names, understand what they want out of, what do you want out of BNI? Why did you join? What do you want? But the biggest thing is consistency, visual, being there all the time, same message, and doing what you say you're going to do.
So, Greg, I just want to ask you, there's tons of mortgage advisors out there, tons of mortgage brokers out there. Maybe it's the same thing, but
yeah.
Why you? If somebody's who's listening to this podcast wants a mortgage advice or looking for a mortgage broker, then why would they come to you?
So cliche, isn't it, mortgage broking? So basically we have been in the industry for 20 plus years individually, right? And the biggest difference we have, I think, on other people is urgency, right? Urgency. So people want what they want, and we're very geared to be able to, I could walk out of the podcast today. If somebody phoned me up today, I could have their mortgage finished by 6 o'clock tonight. Done. Applied for, done, paperwork done, letters out, all this sort of timing that the FCA gives us. We're very quick at doing what we do. We offer from a appointment perspective, so the appointments last an hour. We can see you face to face if you prefer that. Teams, internet, Zoom, if you prefer that and you want convenience. Telephone call if you want convenience. And we can do that literally at any time. So we're not tied to an office. We're remote brokers. So being remote allows us to work anywhere, not in the world, from a FCA perspective, we can't, right? But VPNs are pretty good, aren't they, nowadays? But yeah, so it's speed for us. Now, we use a really intricate system, a mortgage sourcing system, which sources the mortgages, and we're part of a network, which is a huge network in the UK. They provide us with all our products. So in that network, there's about 3,000 or 4,000 mortgage brokers. So from a perspective of volume of what that network does, our network goes to Halifax, to Virgin, to Nationwide, to Santander, all the mortgage lenders are available. And they're able to get exclusive rates for us. And they're also able to allow us access to what's called their business development managers, which help us get ahead of the game in pushing a mortgage forward that might not actually be that perfect, black and white mortgage, not one size fits all attitude. So I would say what makes us different is experience, speed of service, accuracy, getting the offer out very, very quickly, because that's what we focus on. We don't get involved with all the fluffy stuff around the edges, what he's saying to him and what the estate agent's doing. Our job is purely focused on, can we get that mortgage and how quickly can we get it? And we do that really well. And as we say, we also offer protection solutions to every single one of our clients to make sure that their families, kids, loved ones are safe. If the worst happens financially, they don't hit a brick wall and they can keep that roof over their head and make choices. So I think that's what makes us different.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Actually, you were really great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Quick and easy.